Most people are petrified to apply for a credit card or a line of credit simply because they don't want to get a hard inquiry. By the end of this video, you'll know how to stack multiple American Express cards with just one hard inquiry and how to get a business line of credit up to $250,000, even if you're just starting out. If you're looking for more capital to invest in your real estate deals or to pay contractors for your rehabs, then you need to be paying attention because the clock is ticking. And like how everything else is in the credit world, so watch this full video to the end and take action on this immediately. I beg you, I am not playing. All right, so here's the problem. A lot of people are scared of getting denied. They don't want dings on their credit score due to hard inquiries where it can affect your credit score anywhere between 2 to 5 points. And others don't even try because they don't even know how to apply properly. When I first started off on my funding journey where I needed some capital for my real estate deals, I was just applying for anything. I didn't have a strategy. I didn't know where to go. I just knew that banks had some money and I needed to get it. But then I found out about the American Express funding strategies and everything changed. Stick with me to the very end and I'm going to show you the easiest business line of credit that you will ever apply for. Before we dive in, do me a favor, click that subscribe button because even with that small action, that helps out push this video to hundreds, thousands, and even millions of people so they can stop getting denied also. Stop gatekeeping, let these people win, y'all. All right, so let's now get into it. The first loophole is the pre-approval soft pull trick. So this is how the typical credit card application works. You might go to a Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. Because you have to personally guarantee this funding, they're going to look at your credit report and they're going to get you with a hard inquiry. It could be anywhere between 2 to 5 points. Even with that small drop of score, that could hurt your chances of getting funding in the future. Too many hard inquiries on each of the credit reporting agencies can be seen as a high risk when you apply for funding down the road. Because most of these banks, they don't want to see a whole bunch of inquiries on your credit report. Let's take an example. Let's just say that we got somebody named Marcus. Marcus goes out and applies for credit cards over here, lines of credit over here, personal loans over here, and he's racking up all these hard inquiries. Then finally, he goes to a bank where he really wants to get a high limit business credit card. When he goes to that bank, the bank is going to pull his credit. They're going to see all these hard inquiries from all these other different lenders. That bank is going to think, okay, why is Marcus going over here? Why is he trying to go all these different places? Is he trying to do something reckless with that funding? Why does he need so much all at one time? It comes off as risky. And because of that, sorry, I got to deny you. But look, this is why I like American Express. American Express, for the ones who don't know, is one of the top tier credit cards, both on a personal and business side. That comes with top points, top 0% interest features, and altogether, they just look pretty cool. But American Express is a little bit different from a lot of other credit card companies out there. They actually give you a way to know whether you're approved or not before you actually apply. Yes, you have to personally guarantee whatever you're going to get approved for, but when you go to American Express credit card application, they're only going to do a soft pull on your Experian credit report. And by doing that, they're just going to do a high level look at your credit to see if you could be qualified to even get approved. So how does that work? So what you want to do is you want to go to Google and type in pre-approval American Express. And it's going to be one of the first links that pops up. You go to the site. Let's see what they got. I want to use the American Express Gold card. It's one of my favorite cards. It comes with 4 times the points for restaurants, 4 times the points for supermarkets, and you could use your points to book flights. I really love it. So you go to this section of the website, click on apply now. You go to the website. They're going to only do a soft pull, so it does not hurt to see if you get approved or not. You come to this, you're going to put in your personal information, first name, last name, date of birth, email, phone number, address, everything this sort. Put your total annual income. If you live in a household with other people, use the total house income, and then you want to click on continue the terms. Then you want to click on income source. Then you're going to click on continue terms, and now they're only going to do a soft pull on your credit to see if you have a good chance of getting approved. Now, let's just say that you do get approved and this is your first time applying for American Express. If you accept their terms, then they're going to do a hard inquiry on Experian. Let's just say you have a whole bunch of inquiries on TransUnion, you have a whole bunch of inquiries on Equifax. You apply for American Express, since they only pull Experian, you have a good chance of getting approved. But let's just say that you go to a Truist Bank and apply for their personal credit card or their business credit card. Because you have a whole bunch of inquiries on Equifax, there's a good chance you're going to get denied that because they only pull Equifax. So if you're looking to maximize how much funding you're going to get through business credit cards, personal credit cards, loans, whatever, it's so important to know which banks and which credit cards pull which credit reporting agency or credit bureau, however you want to call it. Now, let's just say that you went through the application and you get denied. At least now you know you got to go back, figure out what's going on with your credit report, whether it's your LLC. In this case, this is a personal credit card, so they're only going to be looking at your personal credit report. So you need to look at, okay, do I have too many hard inquiries? Do I need to pay down some credit card debt? Do I have some negative items? Do I have late payments, charge-offs, collections that are raising red flags on this application? But the best thing about it is that you saved a hard inquiry. For many other credit cards, if you went through this application, they would give you a hard inquiry, your credit score could be hit. And the great thing about this is that, look, it actually shows it right on the website. Know if you're approved for this card with no impact to your credit score. Complete this application will let you know if you're approved first without any impact on your credit score. It says it right there on the website. So there should be no reason why you're scared to apply for American Express because you have nothing to lose. American Express is not the only credit card that does this. There's also other credit cards and banks where they only do a soft pull to see if you get approved or not. For my funding clients, I love to send them through banks that only do a soft pull so that we're not wasting hard inquiries on applications where they're going to get denied anyways. Because now we're able to save those hard inquiries for banks where they're more likely to get approved down the road in the funding sequence. So before I show you loophole number 2, I wanted to break something down. This is for all the people who initially got denied on that application. Like I said, it may be something on your credit report that needs to be fixed. You need to take a look at what's going on with your credit report. I always suggest people to use a 3-bureau credit report where you're able to see TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian lined up side by side. An example would be MyScoreIQ or Identity IQ. And by the way, I do have a link to MyScoreIQ, Identity IQ, where it pulls all 3 of your credit bureaus in the link of this video. However, it does cost, right? It may have a $1 trial for 7 days and it might jump into $24, $25, maybe $30. But everybody can get Credit Karma. Credit Karma is free. The only downside about Credit Karma, it's only going to show you TransUnion and Experian. But if you go on Credit Karma, you can actually take a look at what's going on with your credit report. Now, there's a part of Credit Karma, and we could do a whole nother video on this that goes and breaks down all the credit factors that plays into your overall credit health. So here's going to be the main 6 factors that determine whether you're going to get approved or not. Our goal is to make sure we have the right numbers. It's not about our credit score, because look, I know people with 800 credit scores getting denied American Express cards, but I know people with 680s getting approved for $25,000. Right? So what really matters is what's actually being reported on the credit report. So if you go to Credit Karma, you're going to see these 6 different factors. You see your payment history, credit card usage, derogatory marks, credit age, total accounts, and hard inquiries. So now with this, you want to make sure you have the right numbers on each of these. Payment history, that means you're having no late payments being reported. It has a huge impact on your credit. Next is your credit card usage. That's your credit utilization, making sure your credit utilization, your credit card debt is under 10%. Derogatory marks, those are your charge-offs, collections, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative debt that has defaulted, those are called derogatory accounts. You want to make sure you get those deleted ASAP. If you have bad payment history, you have a whole bunch of derogatory marks, and or you have high credit card debt, there's a good chance you're going to get denied this funding. Or if you do get approved, it might be small limits and may not amount to anything. One of the factors that people often overlook is the credit age. This is the overall average age of all the credit accounts on your credit report. Those are student loans, auto loans, credit cards. If you apply to a whole bunch of different accounts all at one time, you're going to have a whole bunch of new accounts hit your credit all one time. And because of that, the average age of your credit is typically going to be low. But our goal is to make sure that we have an average age of at least 5 to 6 years. Once you get to that point, you're more likely to get approved for the things that you want. Total accounts, those are all the accounts on your credit report. Making sure that you have a strong, healthy amount of different accounts. I typically like to see at least 10 open positive accounts, with 3 of them being at least a $5,000 personal credit card. Hard inquiry. And we talked about the hard inquiries. We want to make sure that we have 4 or less on each of these credit reporting agencies, because once you start getting past 4, there's a higher chance of you getting denied every single time you apply. So removing hard inquiries or waiting for 2 years until they naturally fall off your credit report are strategies on how to make sure that you're going to get approved for the funding that you want. All right, so that was loophole number 1. But before we move on, real quick, have you ever applied for a credit card and felt like you wasted a hard pull? Drop a yes in the comments. I know I've been there. Let me show you how to be able to maximize how much funding you're going to get per hard inquiry. Now, loophole number 2, as we discussed, most banks and credit cards that you're going to go to are going to give you 1 hard inquiry per application that you complete. So most credit cards and banks, when you apply for any type of credit cards or any type of funding, most of the time, they're going to give you a hard inquiry for every product that you apply for. So let's just say you apply for 3 different credit cards, you're going to get 3 different hard inquiries. See, look, American Express is a little bit different. With American Express, you could use one application, get one hard inquiry, but use that same hard inquiry to get up to 4 products. Within a 90-day span, you could use that same hard inquiry to get approved for 2 credit cards and 2 charge cards. So what does that mean? So if you're going through an application, what would be a wise choice is to find the products that you want. If you are a business owner, real estate investor, you're probably looking for 0% interest business credit cards. So you're not going to be hit with a whole bunch of crazy interest over the time span that you're borrowing money. So one of my favorite cards is the Blue Cash Everyday card on the personal side, right? You can come here because it has 0% interest for up to 15 months. That means you don't have to pay any interest on what you borrow for the first year and 3 months. That's crazy, right? But now let's just say that you have a business, right? If you want to use the business credit card, they have a business version of the same thing. They actually have 2. They have the Blue Business Cash Card, 0% interest, but in this case, it's 12 months for a full year. Of course, after that, it's going to jump up to 18 to 28%, but our goal is to make sure that we use the cash on this card to invest in our business, be able to get a return from it, pay back ourselves, and then also pay back their credit card before the interest hits. But they also have the Blue Business Plus credit card, right? This is also on the business side. And as you can see, this has 0% interest for 12 months as well. So these are 2 cards that you could apply for when you go to American Express. But also, let's not forget about the charge cards, y'all. Their most popular cards are the Business Gold Card, and it is a charge card, so it's a little bit different from a credit card, where that means whatever you borrow from that charge card, you're expected to pay back within 30 days. But with this Business Gold Card, yes, it has 0% interest for about a half a year, but that's not the cool part about it. You're able to rack up so many membership reward points, and the membership reward points are basically American Express's version of their point system. So within that 4 products, you can apply for the Business Gold Card. You could also apply for the Business Platinum Card, which is another fabulous card to get, especially if you're a traveler, because they give out a whole bunch of membership reward points. You can cash those in for flights, different other benefits. We could talk about that in another video. But now I want to emphasize that this is only going to work if you're already within the system. So if you apply for a personal credit card, you get that hard inquiry within that first 90 days. This is when it's going to be the most effective. But they're not going to give you 4 products right off the bat if they do not have that first hard inquiry. And now we got loophole number 3. This one is going to change the game. This is the American Express's new business line of credit. I just discovered it not too long ago, probably about a couple years ago. However, I've seen my clients get huge successes on this. This is the American Express new business line of credit program. So now for this one, you can go to American Express business line of credit. Now it's going to be one of the first links that pop up. I've applied for a lot of business lines of credit for myself and for my clients, but there's no other line of credit that's like this. And you could actually go to this site and see it. If you're pre-approved, you'll see the line sizes currently available to you before you apply. So they're applying the same soft pull feature that we had talked about earlier on in this video. Also, it's showing that American Express business line of credit offers line sizes from $2,000 to $250,000. This is crazy, right? But of course, not everybody's going to get approved for the $250,000 because a lot of it is going to play into your relationship with American Express. It's going to play into your credit, and then also for your business, how much revenue your business is actually generating every single month. So now let's go to the Am I Approved? You're going to come through this. Let's check out who's actually qualified to apply. You must be at least 18, which I'm assuming most of us are. You've had to start a business at least a year ago. This is huge because most business lines of credit, your business has to be at least 2 years old. This is a lot different. This is going to be a game changer in itself. So you could have started a business just 12 months ago and you are now qualified to apply for this American Express card. They're looking at your credit score, looking for at least a 660. But really, like I said, I would look into your data points on your credit report, just how we looked at your Credit Karma credit report. Make sure you meet up all the right data points. This is going to be great for people who are just starting off. You can now get approved if your business is at least 1 year old and you have a monthly revenue of at least $3,000. And that's, I'm assuming most people are able to do that. What are some of the things that you're going to need? According to the website, you need an EIN. You can get that from the irs.gov website. Of course, they're going to ask for your social security number, the industry, the business that you're in, and the estimated annual gross revenue of your business. But you might be asking, how are they going to verify your revenue every single month? So this is not going to be stated income. What they're going to do is they're going to ask for access to your business bank account. And through an API, they're going to verify how much revenue your business is actually making a month. So So this is a really cool product. One of my clients just got approved for the business line of credit. He had a brand new business. It was about 15 months old. He had a 760 credit score. He had probably about $20,000 in his business bank account just sitting there. And this is the approval that he got. So it was $10,000, which is not crazy money, but it is to show that this is actually possible with a fairly new business. And he probably could have got approved for more if he was consistently getting $20,000 a month. But in this case, he just had $20,000 in his savings account. And also, by the way, another reason why I love the business line of credit is because you only pay interest on what you borrow. So it's a lot different from a business loan. A lot of people like getting business loans because that's what they've heard of. But the moment you get a business loan, you're paying interest on whatever you borrow. So let's just say you get approved for a $50,000 line of credit. If you pull $10,000 out of that, you're only going to pay interest on that $10,000 as opposed to that full $50,000. So here's the conclusion. We broke down 3 different loopholes for your American Express funding sequence. First, you want to use soft pull pre-approvals to begin any of your funding sequence. American Express is going to be a good example of that. You go to that pre-approval page, you fill out your basic information. They're going to tell you whether you get approved for that credit card before you actually apply, so you're not wasting hard inquiry. Next, you're able to stack up 4 different products with only 1 hard pull. So that could be 2 credit cards, 2 charge cards, the charge card and the business line of credit. All of these can use the same hard inquiry. And now for my business owners who are generating revenue, your business only has to be 1 year old and you have to have a monthly revenue of at least $3,000. This is going to be great for real estate investors who are looking to scale up. So now let me clarify, these aren't tricks. These are just features about American Express that most people are not talking about and not using. So now let me ask you, which American Express products are you going to be applying for first? Drop them in the comments. I'll reply to everybody.